Today, I am reviewing my new Delonghi deep fryer. Delonghi has been around for decades. Their deep fryer, the specific model, has been around for about 5 years. There have been some modifications to it, so we're going to review it. And after a lot of researching different deep fryers, I'm going to go over why I picked this model, even comparing it to the All Clad deep fryer, which was between my first and second choice. Right out of the box, this is what is included. You have a cord here. It's about 3 feet long. It's magnetic on one side, regular cord on the other side. Obviously, it's for US voltage. You have the unit itself. A couple of really nice features is there's a glass window here. So from the glass window, you could see how the food is frying. There's also a steam vent. I'm going to bring up a lot of the safety features. So one thing is when you start to fry, you're going to get a lot of steam through here. And I mean a lot. Don't worry. That is perfectly normal, but make sure that you don't burn yourself. Also, as you're frying, when you go to lift the lid, you're going to have steam coming up as well. So be careful not to burn yourself. This is pretty heavy construction, so you don't really need to worry too much about it. One of the factors with the old models is that this was really sharp. It's still somewhat sharp, but definitely not as sharp as it used to be. This part you can immerse totally in water to be able to wash it. Now, it's also going to include the frying basket, which is right here. Now, one of the specific reasons that I chose the Delonghi versus some of the other brands, which are also pretty decent brands, is the fact that the basket here is very deep. So in my case, when I'm cooking, I like to make arancinis or Italian rice ball. I needed a deep fryer that was deep enough to submerge this. So you could easily make fried chicken here, submerge within the deep fryer. You could see it's extremely deep. This here, you could also put it back in, so it fits back in from a storage standpoint, easy to store. But also, there's a hook that goes here on the top, so once you finish frying, you could hook it on. Stays up, the oil drips, which is really nice, and it fully submerges. There's no design defaults or anything on this unit that I found as of yet. The unit itself, the heating unit, same thing, really nice. I'll show you how to work it. It has a temperature control. So the difference when you're frying with a higher end deep fryer, and I would consider this one being very close to hitting the higher end, is that it has temperature control. So you could set the temperature that you want the food to be fried at. When it reaches that temperature, it doesn't continue heating. It actually maintains it. And the really nice thing is when you drop something in there that's frozen chicken or whatever you're frying in it, it'll automatically bring the temperature back up to where you originally wanted it, and then it'll stay at that temperature. So that's another nice item on it. Very important. This part is not submersible, so you could wipe it down. Absolutely do not put it all in water for any reason whatsoever. And you also have a very, very sturdy frying pan. So this is not quite commercial grade. I worked in the restaurant business, so it's pretty close to it. You could see that it's very deep. Let me come around here and show you a little bit more. So there's 2 fill lines. I'm not sure if you could see them or not, but one says min, one says max. You could easily fit about 4 liters into it. It has the hook in there where the basket's going to hook onto. And a unique feature with this one is it has a little spout on the bottom. So you don't have to pull the whole thing out to filter the oil. Now, the All Clad has a patent filtering system built in, and when the oil filters, it goes to the bottom of the unit. Unfortunately, what that does, though, is it made it so that the basket was lower. That's one of the reasons that it didn't quite work for me. Now, this does have a little filter in here to get some of the oil out, but it's only going to capture like the big crumbs and stuff. You can buy a little oil filtration system funnel. on Amazon or multiple places. So that's the way that you can get your oil cleaned. The other part that you're going to get is the actual outside of the unit. This here is more just to encaps everything, keep it safe. It's not extremely sturdy. It does have this cute little basket thing here, not basket, window thing, where the spout's going to go in. Very important, this can heat up quite a bit. So you want to be sure that you're not touching it as it's frying. It's going to heat up. When you're using a deep fryer, please, please, please be careful, because we're not just talking about a painful burn. It could be life-threatening. It's very painful, very, very dangerous. So you always want to be sure that you're following all the safety precautions. One of them is do not use an extension cord. And the reason is you want it to be close to the plug. You don't want it to be a chance that someone can run by and get hurt with using that. Also, in addition to not using the extension cord, be sure that it's going on a flat surface. So as much as I would love to put it on my stove, it's not going to work because I have a gas stove. Let me show you how the lights and everything work from a control on it. All right, let's go over the function. As soon as you plug it in, make sure that the plug is fully in, because the magnetic will unplug easy. It does default to 320 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the interesting thing is, if you hit the plus or minus, it's not going to go per 1 degree. It's going to go in 9 degrees, and that's because if you looked at it from a Celsius standpoint, it would be 5-degree temperature hikes in Celsius converted to Fahrenheit. I don't know if that made sense, but all I'm going to tell you is it does move by 9 degrees in Fahrenheit. So that's the power. It's going to tell you when it's ready. Another nice thing is it has a lard function. So if you're frying with lard, you don't necessarily want it to heat up really fast all at once. So you would hit the lard function on it, and what that will do is it's going to melt slowly at first, and then the intelligent design will bring it up to the same temperature over time. So that would be the lard function on that. Your temperature function is going to tell you once it's reached the temperature, and then you could program the minutes that you want. Now, never turn it on and start heating unless there's oil in there. If you do, what's going to happen is you're going to get a default on it. System's going to default. It's going to shut itself off. Then what you have to do in the back of the unit back here, there's a reset button. If you hit the reset button, it'll reset the system itself. But it will actually not short itself out, but there's a little circuit breaker on it that'll avoid it heating up without there being any oil in it. Another thing that's really smart about this that I loved is after you've cooked in it for about 5 hours, maintains the timing on it, it's going to say your oil's probably dirty. So it's going to ask you to clean the oil. Once you've cleaned the oil, you then want to go ahead and hit the oil reset button. When you hit the oil reset button, it's going to say, okay, the oil's clean now. We're going to start that 5-hour timer again. All right, I'm going to fill this and see how much oil it takes. Well, I know it takes 4.75 quarts, but I'm going to see where the first line is. Now, you could use vegetable oil, you could use canola oil, you could use mazola oil, whatever one you want. But I highly recommend do not mix your oil types. When you do, it does change the smoke point of them. It's not good. The oil won't last as long. What the smoke point means is certain oils could heat up more than other oils can. And if they're overheating, it's going to get really smoky and it will actually burn really fast on the food. So it's not something that you want. So in here, I already have 2.5, and that's not quite yet full. So let's put in the rest. It is a big deep fryer, so when you're going this deep, it is going to use a lot to get to the minimum. Okay, so to hit the minimum, I'm looking at probably 3.5 quarts. Be sure that you've put in at least enough for the minimum line, because you want to be sure that's covering your food. Don't go over the max line, and the reason is it seems like you got a lot of space, but once you drop in the basket, you drop in the food as well, and it heats up, because when you drop it, that oil's going to bubble. There's water in it, it's frozen, it's going to bubble even more. Last thing you want is that oil comes out, you have a hot oil spill. Really bad idea. So let's see how long it takes for this to heat up, and we'll fry something in it and let you know how that works as well. Okay, I'm going to do my first frying, and it will be for fried chicken. So I'm choosing the minutes that I want it right now, and the timer actually will not start until the chicken's in there. So I'm going to probably put it at 23 and then see if I need more. I should put it at 25. Now, I don't want it at 71. It's going to go ahead and heat up, and then I could hit the plus or minus if I want it for more time on it. And when it's ready to fry, that green light's going to come on. All right, my oil reached temperature. When it did, you'll see that the clock's starting to clock down on it. Now, give me a second and I'll show you how I'm putting in the fried chicken. So I put my chicken in. If you're putting in something battered, I would wait till it's submersed. It bubbled up. I love the deepness of it. Of the deep fryers that I've looked at, it's definitely a deep fryer. As of yet, I love it. I love it how quickly it even heated up. Maybe took less than 10 minutes to heat up. Let's see how it comes out. That is perfect fried chicken in about 20 minutes. Gosh, if I had to say one thing is there's a lot of steam that comes out, so it did steam up my cabinets in the wall. It does smell very much like fried food in here, but hey, we did fry. I'm probably going to look at putting a very stable table or something in the garage so that I could fry in the garage and not have the smell. But I am very happy with the chicken. I'm going to try some potatoes now. I love the Delonghi deep fryer. It's a true deep fryer. It has a deep basket on it. Very easy to use. Please read every one of the safety features. Please be very, very careful with frying it. But you can make food like this with no splatter, no mess. And if you could have a stable way to put it in a room where it's not going to call around the house, it does control the smell quite a bit. Filtration does. Remember to watch the steam and everything. Under $160, I'm going to say that's at least a 4.5 on a rating. I'm truly impressed. So definitely worth the buy, worth enjoying, and enjoy cooking. Cheers.